Exciting news, the Planet Peterson store on Shopify is now open. Click the top link in the description to go to Shopify, where you can check out shirts, stickers, digital artwork, and more. Thank you.
Hey, can I just say one thing and then I'll go and let you debate this with your followers and stuff? I was just curious the other day and I checked Google. Only 9% of Nobel Prize winners were atheists, and 35% of them were in literature. So that means easily the vast majority of the smartest scientific minds and mathematical minds believe in a God.
Just because somebody doesn't identify as atheist doesn't mean they are are technically a theist.
They're pretty much asked sooner or later, you're so smart, do you believe in a God?
Percentage of total Nobel Prizes won by atheists, agnostics, and free thinkers. Okay, between 1901 and 2000. 10.5%. Yeah, most in literature. Interesting.
Yeah. So here's just a question for the room. And there's no pressure. Are you going to wager, if it exists, your immortal soul on a TikToker or the smartest people who have ever lived?
So none of these people won a Nobel Prize for theology.
Well, but I don't think there is a Nobel Prize for theology.
Correct. So what was the point?
I just said the point. Would you wager your immortal soul on a TikToker or the smartest people that have ever lived? If it exists.
How about, would you wager your immortal soul on whatever you believe in, or the infinite number of different possibilities?
Well, I listened to John Lennox, and he's pretty much explained that to me. So what I believe in.
What?
I've listened and understood.
I know who John Lennox is. I don't think you understood what I'm asking. The
yeah,
thing
you're saying
is one of an
should I weigh the other options?
So your risk is not less risky than mine. Do you understand that?
Well, I've heard most of the arguments, and that has been the best argument so far.
What has?
The what do they call it? The apologetics argument.
Do you understand that there are infinite different possibilities for what may... I don't know what you mean by safer to go with or whatever. Like, are you afraid of an eternal punishment in the afterlife? Is that why you are, warning people?
I'm just saying, let people make their own choice, but understand the statistic.
Are you saying this because you're concerned for people's souls in the afterlife?
Yes.
Okay, do you understand that there's no way for you to know that yours is correct? The options are not either you're right or I'm right. The options are, do you understand that we can both be wrong and there's something completely different, and because you don't believe in it, you will be punished?
That's a very good argument. However, what is the worst thing that will happen to you if I'm wrong? When you die, you'll be known as a good person. What's the worst thing that will happen to a person who believes you if you're wrong?
The exact same possibility exists for you.
See,
you're pretending that the only options
I answered your questions directly when you asked me to. What is the worst thing that can happen to a person who believes in what you say if you are wrong?
You are not making the point that you think you're making, because you're still pretending that the only two possibilities are, I assume you're a Christian, the Christian God exists and hell, as was written.
I didn't say Christian God. I'm saying,
is that what you believe in?
I'm not saying Christian God. I'm not saying Jesus. I'm not saying Yahweh. I'm not saying Muhammad. I'm saying What is the worst thing that could happen to a person if you are wrong? You personally.
The exact same thing that could happen if you're wrong.
Is it?
Yes. Prove to
Okay.
me that
Okay.
Zip-Zop,
So if
who is a jealous god and punishes all people that don't worship Zip-Zop, sends them to an eternal punishment in the afterlife. Prove that that's not the case. You can't. So it's
that
possible.
is your worst contingent. Your worst contingents.
No, it's
My worst
yours too
contingent.
because you don't believe in Zip-Zop.
Okay, my worst contingent would be that you have a good reputation when you die. I'm saying
Oh,
your
Kirk,
belief and my belief.
you don't get it. Our beliefs aren't the only two possible beliefs.
Yes, I understand.
No, you
I
don't,
understand,
because
but
you
right
keep
now I'm
saying
comparing your
it's either
belief and my
nothing.
belief.
You don't understand at all. The
I
worst
understand there are
possible
different
thing that can
options.
happen if I'm wrong is the exact same thing that can happen if you are wrong. You are pretending that if you are wrong, there is no afterlife. That's not how it works. You may be wrong and there is an afterlife, but it's not the afterlife you thought it was. So you still get punished in the exact same way that I would. Do you get it now?
Yes, but you taking an atheist standpoint is eliminating all the possibilities except yours.
What is infinity minus 1?
Mm, it's still infinity mathematically.
Yep. So your risk assessment is not more favorable than mine because infinity minus 1 is infinity.
But what's infinity minus half of an infinity? You're completely limiting people.
Half of it. What the hell?
You're saying you're stupid for believing in a God, in
I never
believing in
called
Yahweh, and
anybody. I
believing
never
in
called anybody
Allah,
stupid.
uh, mm, believing in Buddha. You're saying he's completely stupid. There's no God. You're
No, I
wasting your
didn't.
time.
Never said that.
But you make arguments against the belief in God. Yes?
Very not very often. What I argue against is people saying science is false because of what my dusty old book says. That's what I argue against.
Well, I will agree with you there.
Okay, well that's what I argue against. There are some like I would say the particular God that Christians believe in, you can logically disprove. It's not even hard to do.
Mm,
But
even though St. Thomas proved that he exists 800 years ago?
no, he didn't.
Okay.
How did he prove it? By making an argument that a maximally great being must exist?
Cosmology, ontology, causality, motion.
Right? Those are arguments. You can't prove anything with an argument.
But science all the time accepts things as facts on empirical evidence. Does it not?
An argument is not empirical evidence.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. I have to get to my live broadcast.
Okay, have fun.